Hey everybody, it's finally time. I'm so excited. This is a film idea that I've been sitting on for quite a while and I'm finally doing it. You saw the thumbnail. I am going to be pairing Ghibli films with books. Um, yeah, I'm just so excited. I've been a Ghibli fan for a very long time, like very long, before I read books really. So what I'm doing is I'm pairing the movie to a book that has a similar vibe. Don't use the word vibe very often. Um, but I'm picking a book based on how it makes me feel or just like a characteristic of the movie. The one rule that I went by is that I can't pick the book if it's like if the movie is semi based on it. So, for example, The Secret Life of Arrietty is based on The Borrowers, so I can't pick The Borrowers because that's just kind of cheating. Um, and I also just picked from my shelf. So if you have a better book recommendation, please tell me so in the comments. But it's just that I don't own that book. So yeah, I think that's all. Before we start, let's go ahead and get started. So I have 16 films to go through, and I decided to split this video up into two, so next week will be the second half. But this is in no particular order. It's not by my favorite films or anything. It's just the ones that I thought of at the time. All right, so the first one is Princess Mononoke. This was my favorite growing up. It is basically high fantasy. It is incredibly dark and it is very intense. It's the most intense of all of the Ghibli movies. And it's basically a wartime film. And so the book I paired it with is The Two Towers. This is perfect because there's a lot of battling going on. I feel like Helm's Deep and the battle that happens in this one is very similar. It's also very similar that there's the traditional kind of pattern battle, and then there's the battle between like the protagonists and antagonists like off somewhere else. So I feel like that's very similar to all of the Lord of the Rings. I could have done Return of the King. I probably should have, but this is just the one that I'm on. So, and also I feel like Helm's Deep has a very similar vibe um, to the battle in Princess Mononoke because it's very much like a desperate last stand kind of battle where they don't actually think they're gonna win, but they have to do it anyway, just for like their consciences. So that's very Two Towers. So that is the first one. The next one is my current favorite, which is Pocoroso. I love Pocoroso so much. The Italian vibes is just so amazing in this. And this is the one, maybe this one and one other were so difficult to pair. I really struggled pairing these because it's really not like anything. But I was thinking about the main characters when I paired this. So if you're just thinking about the main character, it's about someone who you shouldn't root for. He is not the best person, but because of the events in this book, you like grow to love him. And that is very much like Going Postal, where it is very much like a criminal element and he very much looks down on himself morally. He says, I'm not a good person. Like, you shouldn't trust me. And that's very much the same in Going Postal as in Pocoroso. So this definitely is the pairing based on the protagonist. It's almost like an anti-hero kind of situation where they're not a good person, but the events of the books make them grow. So that is very Going Postal. All right, next is the only one on this list that I have not seen, because I am scared. But I know the storyline and I just am waiting for the right time to watch it. I'm very, very terrified of watching Grave of the Firefly. It is heartbreaking. It is, I believe, in World War II, and it's just suffering. And that's why I paired it with The Way of Kings. Sanderson is known for his brutality. His characters just suffer through this book, and especially the main character just has an awful time, and so that's why I paired it with this one. If I had the Blade itself, if I had read it, I might have paired it with that, just knowing like that it's grimdark, but I haven't read that one yet. It is on my shelf, but I haven't read it. So this is what I paired with it. It's just that like the characters are miserable in this book most of the time. So that's what I paired it with. I think that an upcoming Sanderson might be a better fit, but I haven't read it yet, so we'll see. The next one is very sweet and homey. It is Totoro. Totoro is definitely more about the vibes than the story, and it is more about like peace and just like being a kid, and that's so beautiful. And so I had two from the same series that I might have paired it, but one of them felt more like a different pairing, so I went with the Chronicles of Avonlea. So this is just, I think, 7 or 8 cozy stories from Prince Edward Island. So it's very much the Totoro vibes of just life experiences, cute little stories, and it's just all about like little peaceful stories and little imaginations. And so that's very Chronicles of Avonlea, not Narnia, Chronicles of Avonlea. So that is why I picked this one, and it's just perfect. The vibes are very similar. Again, I'm using the word vibes a lot. I'm not actually the kind of person to do that. This one was really hard, is Spirited Away. Again, another one that is just not like anything else. It's just so unique and beautiful and artistic, and this adventure, it's very much a fish out of water, which is where I was going when I paired it with a book. It is definitely someone going into a new world and discovering the new rules, and then having their little adventure and their little romance. And so that's why I picked Harry Potter, and specifically the Philosopher's Stone. It is Harry going into a new world and discovering what it's like, and then having his little adventure, and it's much smaller story, just like Spirited Away. It is beautiful. It is scary at times for the character, and it is like a new place and a new rules. So that's why I picked Harry Potter, as similar feel to it. All right. Next one is Nausicaa. Nausicaa is based on a book or an anime. I'm not sure which. Or I think it's a manga series. But it is very old. It's like one of his first ones, and it is very, very cool. But it does feel a touch incomplete or rushed, that it was hard to squeeze everything in. But the reason I picked this one is because of the culture. There's like a couple cultures, and they all view the world differently, and they agree or disagree with different philosophies. And it is the character being a little sheltered and going into the rest of the world and kind of being appalled at what she finds. And so that's why I picked The Eye of the World, or just in general, the beginning of the Wheel of Time series. It is Rand going into the world, not realizing how big it is, and kind of being horrified at how dark it could get. And that's very Nausicaa. Nausicaa is like the chosen one as well, just like Rand is. And she hasn't really seen these horrible people who would just abuse the planet, basically. So I picked Eye of the World. It's very much the same idea. And there's also I don't know how to describe it. It's like the end conflict kind of feels similar. in this one and Nausicaa. All right, and then the last, oh no, I have two more. Whispers of the Heart is one of my favorites. It is so sweet. It's enemies to lovers, which is very, very fun and cute, and that's why I picked Anne of Green Gables. It is very much the female and the male don't like each other, and then later they love each other. It's very, very cute and just like a simpler story. That's why I picked this one. It's like a little bit of a quieter setting. It's in the city, but it's very much like that neighborhood where she like can just be walking around and discover this very cute little store. So yeah, I really, really like Anne of Green Gables. And Whispers of the Heart just feels that similar, like, everyone in the area kind of feeling. All right, and then the last one is our newest addition in the Miyazaki canon is The Boy and the Heron. There are pieces of this movie that I adored and then pieces that I didn't. It is definitely very scary in some parts, and you don't really understand the rules, and neither does the main character, which is why I picked The Ocean at the End of the Lane. Is very much a atmospheric kind of horror book. I adored this book. It was very much not my normal scene, but it's definitely, I like grew to love it. And it is definitely scary in some parts, and you definitely don't know the rules to this book. So it has a very similar vibe to The Boy and the Heron. So that is my first part. We'll be back next week to finish off the rest. Tell me in the comments if you have a book that you think pairs better. I would love to hear it. Maybe it's one that I've never seen before or read before. So yeah, I hope you all know about how amazing the Ghibli films are. And yeah, if you haven't watched any of these, highly recommend them. Even Grave of the Fireflies, but don't watch it unless you're in a good mood, because it is depressing. So that's why I haven't watched it yet. But yes, recommend all of these. They're amazing artwork, as are all these books as well. So yeah, see you next week. Bye.